Welcome to Let's Talk Football with me, Chris.
And me, Richard.
The podcast bringing you the latest in football news. Every week we discuss all the big talking points from the world of football and preview all the action in the week to come.
In this week's podcast, heartache for England as they lose to France. What is next for Southgate and the squad? Morocco make history, becoming the first African nation to reach a World Cup semi-final. And in the other semi-final, Messi's dream is alive. But Argentina must get past a Croatian team that continue to impress in tournaments.
Plenty of action in the quarterfinals. So, let's talk football. Hello, everybody, and welcome.
Hi, everybody.
To another week of podcast. Now, things are a bit somber around these parts this week. England
It's not coming home.
Gone. It's not coming home. Not this time. I mean, you know, we keep it is coming home. We just haven't necessarily specified when. Okay.
No, this is very true.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the women did it last summer.
Yeah.
You know, they brought it home. It's gone on holiday again.
Yeah.
And it'll be back soon. But yeah, it was a hard game to watch. That
it was.
Just because I felt like, especially the second. I think the first half, France had moments. Probably had a bit more control of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really feel like they were causing us that much trouble.
No, the goal kind of comes out of nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no one's expecting to eventually to hit that from that distance.
No, but he should have been closed down a little bit quicker.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, like, I didn't even know he had that in his.
No, definitely not.
In him, to be honest. So, you know, you kind of sit there and go, all right, that's gone in, fair enough. Yeah. But I thought defensively we were very good overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, we did stop the lines getting through to it. Mbappe didn't really create. I mean, there was one instance, I think, when he got the run on Walker.
But that was it, yeah.
Yeah, he slowed him, went again. That was in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Other than that, he didn't really get away from Walker that much, did he?
So that was really good. Yeah, I thought we were good. We were good. I mean, I thought, especially that second half, I thought, okay, you know, we get it back. I'm thinking, right, there's only one team. But then we concede that second goal at such a horrible time.
Yeah, going into the last 10 minutes, you're like, okay.
Yeah.
If that happens 10 minutes earlier, you've got time, haven't you?
Yeah, and I mean, we had time, obviously, and we had the penalty.
Yeah.
Both penalties. It wasn't to be for Harry Kane on that occasion.
No. I mean, the first one, you know, that's typical Kane.
Yeah.
But the second one, he's done that already this season, where he's put too much on it and skied it.
Yeah. You know, the thing is though, anyone in that squad who you backing to take that penalty?
Yeah, exactly.
You're backing Harry Kane to take that penalty, aren't you?
You know, there was a lot of people saying, well, if he took the first one, he shouldn't have taken the second one. But then it would have been, but Harry Kane should have taken the second one.
Exactly, yeah, it would have been, wouldn't it? If the second person misses,
why didn't he take it?
Exactly. Yeah. Why didn't HarryTain take that penalty? So, you know,
he's a rock and a hard place, responsibility.
Really. Yeah, he's the captain.
Yeah.
He's the He's the main goal scorer.
Yeah.
You know,
and there's a lot of the players have said, and I'm glad the players have said this, that, you know, without Harry Kane, we probably wouldn't be here.
That's true.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and they'll back him. You know, they'll back their captain.
Yeah.
That's what this team does, doesn't it? It's different.
It gets round its players. Yeah.
Yeah, if you think about what probably would have happened 10, 15 years ago, I mean, it would have been mayhem in the papers everywhere,
Absolutely.
Wouldn't it?
But the papers have been relatively kind. Social media less so, but then obviously people, you know, keyboard warriors and all that.
Yeah.
I thought it was telling that the first player that came up to him after he'd missed the penalty was Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
I thought that was, you know, as a 19-year-old kid, being the first player to go up to your captain and say, come on, Skip.
Yeah.
You know,
and there was still time. The thing is, there was still time after that. I mean, I felt we got a little bit
panicky.
Well, not so much that. Anything. They were trying to play their football because right up to the end they were just knocking it around, trying to find the angle to get the ball in.
Sterling had one right sort of with like 10 seconds to go. It was like, just get it in the box for him.
Yeah, just throw it in there, throw it in there. But yeah, I mean, everyone wants to talk about the referee, so I'm going to let you talk about the referee.
He was substandard.
He wasn't great. He was probably.
I mean,
Bukayo
Saka. There was 2 or 3 occasions where he was just chopped down, and it's like, no, like you have to give those. If they've not won the ball, it's. I mean, their first goal comes from a foul on Saka.
Yeah, it does. It does. And that was the one moment, you know, I saw it happen, that goal, because Kyle Walker made a run into the box beyond Saka.
Yeah, to make
he was really
overlap.
brave in that moment. But then the second they lose the ball and he's got to chase all that, I thought we're in trouble here.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. This is danger.
And maybe you might back me up with this. You might say no, absolutely not. I don't understand why a European referee has not been given that game.
Yeah, I get it. I get where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, I think FIFA have to have faith that all their referees are at a standard, don't they?
Yeah.
If you're refereeing a World Cup quarter final,
it
shouldn't really matter where you're from in the world. You should be able to ref the game of football.
He didn't control the game at all, didn't the guy who was doing the Dutch and Argentina game. Obviously, they've both been sent home now. By the sound of it.
I've got a really good thing for us to talk about later when it comes to that.
Okay. The referee was substandard, and we didn't get the rub of the green.
I think it just didn't. Sort of things, it's one of those games, and it was both teams were evenly matched. And it's probably since for me, I think the other performance where we've been at that level at kind of that stage of a tournament, other than the rest of Southgate's time, would have been back in the Portugal game in Euro 2004 when Rooney got injured. Like, that is the last time really we were at where I felt, okay, this is good for, we're looking really good against a team that are really difficult.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were on par with France. We were better than them at points in the game.
Yeah.
So I think that there's no, and like we said last week, there was never, as long as it wasn't a drubbing.
Yeah.
You're gonna, no matter what happens in this game, you're gonna come out with your head held high because that's just the nature of the game.
And as to regards to Southgate saying yes, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's got to. He's got a contract until 2024.
Yeah.
He's got a very young group of players that will still be good for 2024. All right, 2026 we might have to evolve things a little bit more, but the majority of them will still be all right for the World Cup.
Yeah.
And, as you say, we weren't thrashed by France. If we'd had lost 4 or 5-1, then
people would probably be calling for him.
Yeah.
But I think from my perspective as well, I think people are all going, but he's not this and he's not that. There's still getting critics at this stage, Southgate, out there. And for me, it's just like, look at what he's created, that culture, that background. Because I tell you what, without that, it doesn't matter who you put in. Oh. You could put the best tactician in the world in. We've done that. We've put some of the best tacticians.
Yeah,
we put Capello in. We've put Ericsson in, who came with huge kind of reputations in terms of their tactical nous. Mm-hmm. But they couldn't get the atmosphere. Yeah. But they couldn't get the atmosphere right in the dressing room.
No, because they don't understand the culture of being part of that setup. Obviously, Gareth was part of the setup under Terry Venables, and that's kind of what he's done in a similar vein to allowing them to have a little bit of leash to sort of do what they want to do.
Yeah. But
sort of rein it in when it's crunch time, which is what Terry did.
Yeah, and I think we were very. That whole togetherness that squad has isn't an accident.
No, that's by design. Yeah.
That is, it's designed by the players that he's choosing. It's the atmosphere that he's setting, the standards that are being set. Having the likes of someone like a Connor Cody in the squad.
Yeah, the sort of jovial joker in the pack who sort of, he's got that experience. Yeah, he's not there to play games, obviously, as much as I would have loved him to get on the pitch. I kept saying that, haven't I? Yeah, but he's a strong...
He's been there.
Yeah, he's
a leader. He's a captain.
Yeah.
And he's helped set those standards in that. Now, you could argue that someone else comes in, goes, Connor Cody, he's not a player for me in my squad, because they don't see the bigger picture. Because you know that in a squad of 26, not everyone's going to play.
Yeah.
So you've got to have the right people in there with them.
And obviously, Harry Maguire's selection has been totally vindicated for me.
Yeah. He's been very, very good.
He was very good. Yeah, even Stones and him, I thought John Stones was probably our player of the tournament.
Up there for me, yes, definitely. Yeah. I'd agree with that. I mean, I thought Saka played really well as well.
Saka was very good on Saturday night, yeah.
Yeah, and I think Rice has been very strong in that midfield for us as well. Yeah, obviously, Jude. For me, though, Jude's the standout England performer of the World Cup. Bellingham.
They were frightened of Saka, something chronic, the French.
Yeah. But it wasn't to be for England, but France have made it through to a semi-final, and they are, they have this history. France, they are either good or they are bad, and they are very, very good this time around.
Yeah.
So you have to give credit. I mean, the 2 goals that they had, obviously, Tumenchi's strike was great. The movement from Giroud to get his header, I thought was very good as well. And the ball in was phenomenal. That is probably one of the crosses of the tournament. That was, by the way, into Giroud.
Yeah.
For that second
has
goal.
those for breakfast, doesn't he? In terms of
I mean, he had one before, and I was surprised that he even gave Pickford a chance to save it. To be honest, so that they were very good, France. Let's not take anything away from France. France are France, and they did what they needed to do to get through, and they've done it, and they're into another World Cup semi-final, where they will face the record makers,
history makers,
the history makers. Morocco have made it into a semi-final of a World Cup after knocking out Portugal in a very, very well-deserved win, I have to say.
Yeah.
They were all over them.
Yeah, when you think how well Portugal played against Switzerland.
Yeah. I love the way they play it at the back. They're so brave on the ball at the back, Morocco. Yeah. Like, you think you got a chance to press them, but they kind of want, it's almost as if they want you to have that belief that you can get them. And then they knock it around you 2 or 3 passes and they're away. It's so good. And it would be interesting to see how France deal with that, because France aren't really a pressing team.
No, they were letting us have the ball quite a lot.
Yeah, France will sit off you a bit. So it would be interesting to see now from Morocco what their approach will be to that. Because I think, because, they've had all the teams really have come after them. Portugal were chasing after them at the back, trying to press them, and they were just knocking it around and getting it away. But I don't think France will do that.
No,
France will say no, go on then, and they'll drop off, and then they'll try and win it from there and break on you. Yeah. Again, we talked about Kyle Walker, and during that conversation about Kyle Walker on Mbappe, I think everyone's kind of forgotten that Hakimi's nearly as quick.
That's going to be a juicy battle. Yeah,
that's a nice little battle we've got of club mates, of course.
Yeah.
At Paris, that's going to be a nice little battle in that area of the pitch as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Saiss. Who's had his leg strapped up for the last couple of games.
Yeah, I don't think Saiss is going to make it.
Yeah, so that'll be a big loss for Morocco.
Yeah.
Because he's been an absolute warrior for him at the back.
But the thing with Moroccans is they are very defensively sound.
Yep. No, they are, but I think he's the key to that.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be a big loss. But I think Amrabat, he probably run about 5 marathons in this World Cup.
Yeah, done a lot of work. Yeah.
And, he's going to have to do that again. He's going to have to be all over Griezmann, all over Rabiot.
Yeah.
Getting in and amongst them. And then they've got the ability in Ziyech to get up the other side of the pitch and cause some damage. And we've seen that. They've beaten Spain. They've beaten Portugal. They need to be taken seriously at this point.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were 2 big teams that they've come through and beat.
2 big scalps.
Yeah. Don't forget they finished top of their group as well. So let's not think that they're here. Oh, it's great that well done, you're here. They will have the belief that they can do something against France.
Yeah, they will have the belief they can beat them.
Yeah, Morocco. I know it's an Arabic country, speak Arabic, but there is a lot of a French connection.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of French-speaking Moroccans out there. So there is a bit of a history between Morocco and France as well politically. So there's a bit of spice there too.
Yeah, I still think France win it.
Forward to. I think we're both probably gonna end up in that situation, but I'm not. I don't think you can. I think you can say that Morocco are out of it. No. They're not out of this conversation. They have already beaten 2 very, very, very good teams. It's just whether they're going to run out of steam in one of these last 2 games.
It's whether it's a step too far for them.
Because it could happen in either game. They could do a madness against France, get into the final. But then if they've got a messy, if they then have to go again for a 4th game in a row against an Argentina, and like I said, the miles that these Moroccans have probably ran in the last, particularly the last 2 games.
To be fair to Morocco, if you beat Spain, Portugal, France, and Argentina, you deserve to win the damn thing.
That's a hell of a way to win a World Cup, isn't it? But that's not to say that Argentina will get past Croatia. Now, I want to talk briefly, because we were talking about the Mexico-Argentina game and the terrible performance that he had. However, there was a lot of criticism online for the commentator, Jonathan Pierce.
Right.
And I happen to know a human being called Jonathan Pierce.
Right.
Who is not related in any way or other. And he got a rather angry email in his inbox after the game.
No.
Yeah. And he posted it on Facebook. So I thought, you know what? That's content. I'm having that. So here we go. Jonathan, here's the email that was sent to a person I know called Jonathan Pierce about thinking that they were sending an email to the commentator, Jonathan Pierce, from the BBC. Jonathan, firstly, you were correct in calling the referee in the match. He was very poor. You never mentioned once the fact that Messi deliberately handled the ball in play, something that got his teammate booked. Had he been correctly booked and receiving a separate yellow card, he would have walked. You also seem to avoid controversy. Is that a deliberate decision on your part or a BBC directive? The number of times that Argentina players dropped to the ground when challenged for the ball was ridiculous, but you merely comment the referee's given a free kick. Well, I mean, if you did that to every time a player rolled around on the pitch, the only thing a commentator would ever talk about. You are in a privileged position and could make a difference in our beloved game. The standard of refereeing in our leagues, and judging by this match, international matches too, is really poor. It's plainly obvious to most people who watch the sport that players are conning referees, but the only people who don't see it are the referees themselves. You and your colleagues should be highlighting this problem, which blights our game constantly. Every week on Sky or Match of the Day, the refereeing is in dispute, but no mention is made of players conning referees. Kind regards, whatever their name was. I don't know whether he replied back to him.
Oh, I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have given an extensive.
I mean, one thing I do know about Johnny is he's not a big football man. He's not a big football man.
Okay.
So for him, that was completely out of the blue, completely random. He didn't understand it. So I was loving that when I read that the other night. But no, I thought that game, by the way. I mean, the ref was very poor in that one too. I mean, I've never seen a yellow card come out so much for players not on a football pitch.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the stats, but I would assume that there was more bookings for players not playing than there were for players on the pitch. And there was a lot of players on the pitch that got booked too.
There was a lot of players on the pitch who got booked. Yeah.
Just like everything. Oh, he's tripped over. Oh, booking.
Yeah. Denzel Dumfries got 2. So,
yeah.
You know. But what a crazy quarter-final that was.
Oh, it was. I mean, you think they'd done it, and then all of a sudden they go long ball.
Yeah.
Weghorst, the Burnley maestro himself, pops up with 2.
I mean,
the
second goal is
so clever.
Brilliant.
So clever.
Yeah.
It was so clever. It's just like, yeah, go on. And no one does it. I do it, you know, you see in FIFA all the time, that one.
Yeah.
You think, well, I can't shoot, so I'm just going to roll it down the side and get a man on it and see if I can get a shot away.
Yeah.
And that's exactly, I was seeing, like watching FIFA. This tournament, I've seen a lot of that going on. That reminds me of FIFA, that does. Sweaty goals going in and all sorts. But, no, it's...
Then Messi wasn't exactly gratuitous at the end, though. Did you see that?
Yeah, the thing is, though, that game had got a bit of fight in it, hadn't it?
Yeah.
It got that nastiness that suddenly appeared.
Yeah. Was it? You know, it was Otamendi, wasn't it, who pulled the face at them when they scored the winning penalty?
Yeah. And like when the ball got kicked into the bench,
the dugout, yeah,
and like all hell broke loose. It's like, oh, here we go. And then it happened again, didn't it? I think at some point, was it at full time or something? Before the extra time.
In fairness, the fourth official earned his money that day because that was chaos.
It was. But the referee could have helped it all. The referee, he could have dealt with some of those incidents so much better.
But it's the thing that annoys me about the touchline. It's like the substitute should be given the sit down. You know, you shouldn't be standing up in the technical area, directing traffic on the pitch, remonstrating. I know it's a situation and it gets the pressure builds and things like that. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. You needed like 4 officials down there.
That's the thing. The problem is as well, the benches are so big now. You know, you've got 15 players on the bench plus coaching staff.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of people down there to try and manage and police. You're going to need stewards down there soon.
Yeah.
Have a line of stewards in front of them. You know, like they do in the away ends.
It was there was more drama happening off the pitch than what there was on the pitch because every time the ball came near the touchline, you were like, something's going to happen here.
It's going to kick off.
It's going to kick off. Yeah.
But it'd be interesting to see whether, because, you know, would Argentina versus Croatia could get quite feisty as well.
Yeah, it could do.
Would be a feisty affair. You know, Croatia will probably control that game, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
You look at their midfield versus Argentina's midfield, and I am backing Croatia. You know, you think of
Modric,
that Brozovic, Brozovic, Kovacic, and Modric will control that midfield over De Paul and if Martinez plays, Enzo Martinez.
Yeah, because they're going to miss Bentancur in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it'll be very interesting to see how they do that. I think Di Maria needs to come back in for Argentina to give them something different.
Yeah.
Because they were so one-dimensional until he came on. Mm-hmm. You know, everything had to go through Messi, but Di Maria has the ability to do something too.
Yeah.
Create a bit of space, get a ball in, run past the player, beat a man. You know, Di Maria can do that. So it'd be interesting to see how they set up. Croatia are just going to try and wear Argentina out.
Yeah, they're going to do exactly what they did to Brazil. Yeah. Going to try and stifle the play. And if they get an opportunity, they're going to look to take it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very, very interesting one. That, you know, Brazil are out, as we know. Croatia put in a hell of a shift against them. It was really good. I thought they were very good defensively, really, because they just stopped them. You know, even Vinny got the hook. He got taken off, which I was surprised at, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he got taken off, but he wasn't having much luck, to be honest. But you never know, do you? No. But yeah, I thought, you know, and I've spoke about Brazil before. I just thought the pure numbers of quality that they could bring off the bench, one of them could do something magical, get them through. But it wasn't to be.
I mean, someone mentioned about Dejan Lovren in the game, and they were like, "Yeah, he's had an amazing tournament, Dejan Lovren."
Yeah, I think that this Croatian team
and sort of
this Croatian team have done it though, haven't they? You know, for about 4 or 5 tournaments in a row now.
They have, since they burst onto the scene in '98. Yeah, they're always there, getting through. Yeah,
and just create these players with a bit of fight, but also the technical side of it.
Can they go one better?
Well, that's the thing. We could, you know, there's a lot of stuff. I've been talking about this now because obviously we're down to the bottom 4. I think Argentina might just. I think this Messi story is there, but there's a lot of stories in this World Cup.
Yeah,
you know, we could end up with a repeat of the last World Cup final. We could end up with Morocco getting into the final, and that being a massive thing for Africa, and you know, and all that's connected with that. You've got Messi's Can Messi finally win a World Cup?
Yeah.
You know, Mbappe versus, you know, you could have Argentina, France, Mbappe versus Messi, the old gunslinger versus the young gun coming through.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many potential stories in the final that could come from these 4 teams.
I don't know how it's going to turn out.
Yeah, anything could happen. And we get to look forward to it. That's a good thing. We get to watch it all unfold. So yeah, I think that pretty much is everything I wanted to talk about today. Anything else you wanted to bring up?
Not really, no. Just sit back and enjoy the 2 semi-finals.
Yeah, this time next week we will know who the world champions are.
We will.
And we'll be gearing up for the return of the Premier League.
Oh, thank God. As much as the World Cup has been a distraction and, you know, take out the Qatari stuff of sort of it not needing to be there and things like that, I think it's been a really good World Cup.
The football has been very good.
Yeah.
Hasn't it? The on the pitch stuff has been great.
And I haven't missed going out in the cold to go and watch football. I'll be brutally honest.
Yeah.
But it will come.
There we are.
It will come next week.
It will.
The Premier League is on its way back.
Well, we shall see how it all plays out. You get to watch it all unfold. We will too. But for now, I think that's it from us. So don't forget, you can get in touch with us at Let's Football Pod on your Twitter, or you can email us letsfootballpod@gmail.com. But yeah, keep safe, look after yourselves, enjoy the football, and we will see you all very, very soon. Bye.